Okay, so this vlog is entitled "What Happens When You're Big." Okay, so this title is basically I'm a big, hefty girl. Anyone that does not know who I am, or at least has watched my channel or seen my Facebook posts or anything, you guys all know that I am a chunky girl. I've always claimed to be a chunky girl. Even when I was like 160, I was still like a chunky girl. I've never ever felt being skinny, and like I kind of brought this to the topic that I really do want to lose weight. Like I as much as I would love to fit in beautiful clothing, I'm always afraid to lose weight. And when people say, "Oh, what are you afraid for? What's there to be afraid of?" It's uh, more afraid that I'm afraid of the attention that I'm gonna get. I kind of like, I mean, I don't like being chunky, but I'm also lazy and also scared that something one day is gonna come up and say like, like saying to them that like I'm not gonna be good enough, and like I'm afraid of the attention. And everyone says, you gotta get over your fears, and I understand that. Yes, I know that I'm a chunky girl. I know that I'm hunky. I know that I'm chunky, or whatever you want to say. But it's the fear of doing it. I don't know what people think of when they hear the word fear. To me, I was always told fear is false evidence appearing real. And yes, it is a false evidence that I get scared of doing a lot of stuff like this. It's not anyone's fault but mine. I mean, honestly, I take full responsibility for a lot of this stuff. But with that being said, like, I am so afraid that someone is gonna say, like, I want to be liked by all these great guys, and yeah, I would love the cute ones, but at the same point, I want someone who's always gonna love me, who's gonna love me for being chunky, who's not gonna be so superficial. And yes, superficial. I mean, yes, being beautifully and skinny is great. I've got tons of great friends, good looking friends who are beautifully, size that are under size 6, and then I have my friends who are chunky like me, and my friends who are medium built, and I've always considered myself being somewhat beautiful. I'm a beautiful girl. I will admit that. I take very, 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 very tenderness to my beauty. I get that, but what I don't get is why I have to compromise, I guess, in a certain sense. And I love being me. I do. I just hate waiting and being impatient for the way I look. Anyway, that's just me. But yeah, I just had to make a video about that because it's hard being chunky. Anyone who says, they like being chunky, there are some flaws in life to being a plus size chick. And I don't know if people realize that, but it can get very overwhelming. And I don't want people to, be, I guess, afraid to do it. And that's what my problem is. That I'm afraid to change. I'm afraid. I say as much as I like changing my life, but honestly, I don't. Like, I realize that now. And I want to make sure that down the road in the future that people realize that. So, yeah, this vlog video is about being chunky.